This is Andrew Kemi, Collaboration and E-Learning Architect at Involve Media. This video will walk through creating overlays or pop-ups as video is playing in Adobe Captivate. Here is an example of what we want to create. As a video is playing, maybe you'd like to have an overlay appear. In this first case, it's a knowledge check, basically to help break up the video and ensure the learner is paying attention. Another example might be to just display information or even marketing material in the video. In both cases, the video was paused, the pop-up appeared, the user had to interact and close or continue, and then the video resumed. This is what we're going to create. So pretty much the first step in getting started here is to just have everything set up. So on a slide is where I have the video, and it's important that you use the video slide video, and not the video grid. It's very important in order for this to work, so you have to use the slide video. So on the slide video slide, I imported a video, and then here I created a question slide using just the multiple choice question slide, and then some other piece of content that I wanted to have with a continue button. And then another slide, this isn't going to be used, it's after the video would play, then presumably we'd move on to the next topic here. The next step is to determine where you want to put the overlay in the video. So I'm going to click on my video slide and then open up the timeline, because that's how we're going to use it. And then I'm going to click somewhere in the video slide. I know where I want to place it. That's going to be at the 14-second mark, but you can use the scrub bar here to scrub through where you might want to put it. Since I'm putting it at the 14-second mark, there's actually a bookmark layer. So if I click on the plus here for the bookmark layer, a pop-up appears and it's asking me to set a bookmark. You don't necessarily have to, but since this is going to be the knowledge check, I'm going to say KC and then _1 for knowledge check 1. After you've placed the bookmark, if you open up the interactions, you can now see the bookmark is there for slide interactions, and I need to select an action. And the action in this case is I want to have an overlay appear. So if I click on the more and scroll down through add overlay, I'm now going to select the slide that I want to appear. Well, I'd like that question slide, the multiple choice question slide to appear, but I'm not seeing it in the list because the question slide was just the stock question slide and I didn't modify it to be a knowledge check only. So I have to click on the multiple choice, go to my properties here, and instead of graded, I need this to be a knowledge check. So now this is not a graded question. It's just going to be a quick knowledge check that pops up in an overlay. I'm going to go back to my video slide. I'm going to select to add the overlay. I will select more, add overlay, and now the multiple choice question appears, and I will click on done. So at the 14-second mark, that first overlay will appear. And if you see in the slide view, I have my slide, and then kind of indented is the multiple choice question that indicates it will appear during that video. I can do the same thing for the title and image here. So let me scroll through. I'm going to put this somewhere else. It actually doesn't really apply here, but I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put this is going to be help 1. I will also select now for select an action, add an overlay, and choose my title and image slide. It does kind of help if you title these slides, which I didn't. All right, so now we have this set up, and what I'd like to do is preview that. So what we're going to see is as the video is playing, after about 14 seconds, we are going to see the pop-up for the first knowledge check, which would be the multiple choice question. I will answer the question. Just going to answer it. Doesn't really matter how. Oh, first of all, I only want to allow one attempt. This is just a knowledge check, so I don't need to have this, that's incorrect, try again. So I have to set that up to only support one attempt, so I will answer it correctly. So I answered it, that's correct. But what happened? I continued on to the next knowledge check. Why? That seems weird. Well, let's take a look at what we did. So first, we're going to go back to the multiple choice. I'm going to hide the timeline, I don't need it. And if I go to my interactions, right now the attempts is set to unlimited. That is the default. I will set that to single attempt. The other thing that we need to do is when they answer the question correctly, rather than go on to the next slide, we need to continue the timeline. So right now for when they click the submit button on the success, instead of going on to the next slide, we're going to edit this interaction. We will select more, and we're going to select resume timeline. I don't need to have any other settings, and I'll hit done. Now, when the user answers the question, they will continue on. Since we need them to continue the timeline, let's double check the settings we have for this continue button. It should be the same thing. So click tap. Oh, we didn't set anything up. We just added the continue button. So I'm going to click on more, and we will resume timeline. We'll do a final preview. This time, when the pop-up appears, we're going to answer it incorrectly once just to see if we did it correctly. So it doesn't really matter what we entered here. We get the incorrect feedback, click to continue, and then the video resumes. This is how you set up an overlay and things to look out for as you are setting up the overlay. And if you're using videos, it might be an interesting way to help break up those videos and ensure that learners are kind of paying attention.
Thank you for spending time with our team at Involved Media. You can find more information on our company and service offerings at involvedmedia.com or by emailing us at sales@involvedmedia.com.